What's up, YouTube? This is Skifton here. Got another video. Sorry for the piss poor lighting. It happens, I guess. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to replace one of these. So these go out in a 2005 F-150 now and then, and they have super cheap replacements online. You know, this one happens to not roll up. You can hear it doesn't click. That's the noise it should make, but it doesn't click the other way. So clearly this is just busted. So really all you need is you're going to need a replacement switch, and literally you can go to Amazon or eBay and you can get one of these bad boys for like $7 or $8. You can see inside, there's what you're looking for. I think they have the same ones for the rear door and the front door on the passenger side, as long as it's the passenger side, just because it has to have the detent on the bottom. So let's get into it. Okay, so you are going to need one of these. Flathead screwdriver. That's pretty much it. There's just a plug in the back of this. But you get between these two pieces here, and you just wedge it open. Front and rear. And it comes up. I mean, it's really just that simple. You can see the wiring in there. It just kind of pulls out like this. And you can see there's your wiring harness right in there. One other thing I wanted to show real quick is these tabs. These tabs are push in. So you push in like that. You can see it moving as I push it in, and that blue part will come right out, and then you got to fish this out of here, this little module here. Okay, so this is where you're going to have to be very careful. Right here, top of my thumb, and on the bottom you can see these two little pins. You're going to have to push those in. Now it's hard to push those in because they are molded into this piece. You could pull out the piece that they're in. You can see that it kind of sits in this piece, but because of the age of this plastic, it's fairly brittle, so be careful doing that. Only move it just enough to get it out. You're going to want a very thin flathead screwdriver. The one I used is a little too thick. I'm going to grab a thinner one. And I just want to show you, sorry I keep cutting out, but how easy it is to crack that plastic. It's very hard to see, but you can see there's already a bit of a stress crack in there. It's not all the way through the plastic, but that's just from me pulling it open with a very thin screwdriver. You can see how wide that little tab is. And there's one of those on this side too. It's a little bit more plastic to work with here. But if you bend those out, be very, very careful with that plastic. I would suggest heating it up. Heat it up with a hair dryer or something like that. It'll allow the plastic to bend a lot more fluidly. Just be very careful. I'm going to show you here how it comes out. It literally just sits in there, and when it comes out, there's a hole through it. So now we've got an empty space where that used to be. Okay, so the old one is on the left, and it's got that barcode on it. This is also OEM. The new one is on the right. PWS 324 is the one that I got. I remember seeing that on the line. You can see that they are pretty much identical in shape. Okay, one thing I noticed right off the bat is there's a little bit of movement. There wasn't quite this much movement before. There was a little bit, but that's just because those parts in there don't quite fit exactly the same. But on the top side, it still clicks, no problem. It doesn't stick, it's not too big, and it really looks like stock, brand new button. I would say for $8, it's an absolute win. I think the Ford dealership would have wanted, I've seen people that they wanted $100, they wanted $90, they wanted $80 for this little module and to swap it out. All right, so we've gotten the blue and the green cables plugged back in. They're both the same type of plug. They're just one sideways from the other. It really did clip in, no problem. So I have no issues there. And normally you'd test this before you put it in, but I don't have the ignition on or anything. I'll test afterwards. I only got one hand at a time. So we want to get this put back in place, and I mean it just slides really right in. I mean there's nothing much to it. Okay, there's 3 tabs, 1, 2, and 3, and they slide in like this, and it pops down. So once it pops in, and we're back. So now we've got a functional switch. Seems to click just fine, and we can hear it. Much different than before, so let's test it out here. Okay, and you can see it illuminates green. I can see it much better in the chrome here. I'm going to try to shade a little bit. It illuminates pretty bright green, which I don't remember if the other ones on this truck actually do that, the ones that I have. So I might be getting more of these if the other ones don't. I don't recall seeing that green illumination. Here, we'll test it out. So down, working just fine. And up, back up it goes. So this switch is about $8. I found mine on Amazon. I got it with Amazon Prime. It's PWS 324, I think is the part number of it. Took me 5 minutes to swap it in and out. Just wanted to let you guys know exactly how to do that. Have a good day. Oh, and enjoy the Offspring while you're at it.